Hi everybody, and thanks for joining us today for our holiday show. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Alex. With Thanksgiving already in our rearview mirror, the remainder of the holiday season rests on the forward horizon.
Coming up in our show, an update on the latest improvements to our parking lot, a visit with one of our classrooms, and the latest on celebrating 25 plus years of excellence.
Later in the show, we'll return with another episode of HG&D, a look at the light side of things, and as always, a little detective work to answer another burning holiday question.
Sounds like a great lineup, Alex. We'll be ready to get started right after this.
Are you tired of overpriced processing fees for your family photos? With the Snarkyville 10,000 Darkroom Kit, you can develop all of your photos without ever leaving your home. Let me show you what I mean. Now over here, we have the heart of the 10,000, the Sizemore Photo Enlarger. The first thing you notice is how it blends in with its surroundings. Don't let that fool you though. This is one effective unit, capable of turning your negatives into your positives. Like this one here. Look at that detail. Often, developing chemicals go bad from being stored in plastic containers. These new black glass chemister jars put an end to this problem. Again, they blend in with the rest of the darkroom beautifully, making your Snarkyville 10,000 attractive as well as functional. Their ergonomic design is also a plus. When you reach for them, you can easily... Oh no! Oops! Oh man, let me just, yeah. So lighten up, and buy the Snarkyville 10,000 now. And be careful.
Does drinking a can of Psycho keep you energized throughout the day? Does an apple a day really keep the doctor away?
All right, Mr. Prinarski, time for your little booster shot.
No! Stay away! What? Are you bananas?
Ah!
Psycho keeps you energized the entire day.
Shortly before the school year got underway, improvements were made to the back parking lot area. Large cracks and crumbled areas were dug out and refilled, and the entire surface was slurried. Once this was done, the lot was striped for parking and handicap access. Additional striping was done to create a basketball half-court and a volleyball and badminton court. Last on the striping detail were 2 foursquare areas. As a finishing touch, 2 sleeves were installed below grade to hold poles for our volleyball and badminton net. Gone are the days of sliding the poles onto temporary bases and tying them off to the trees. PE is now a quick setup and tear down, leaving more time for the games.
It's a lot nicer now that we can just drop in those poles and string the net across.
Not to mention we no longer have to worry about those cracks to stumble over.
The 2009-2010 school year was Kline School's 25th, Evan is out back, standing with a report. Evan?
Kline School is celebrating 25 years of exceptional education. From its humble beginning in Huntington Beach in November of 1984 to our 20-year stay at 18th Street in Costa Mesa beginning in 1987 to our current location here at 1620 Adams Avenue. This past March, a formal celebration was held, which included many former students and parents. Former parent Dr. Neil Barth was a guest speaker for this event. He presented Miss Kline with a check to purchase a new smartboard for her class. With this addition, every classroom boasts this exciting interactive tool.
Read. Trace.
We'd all like to thank the Barths for this fabulous gift. I'm out back here near the rear entrance where work is going on for the new recognition area. Plaques that recognize those who have helped Kline School through their generous donations will be hung on this wall. Last month, there was a gathering and an unveiling of a new recognition plaque featuring the names of all who donated and helped raise $125,000 for the 25th anniversary. Additionally, Leadership Council presented to Miss Kline and the school a brand new 40-inch television that will replace our old finicky CRT. Name recognition plaques will be placed on the wall right here, and this viewing area will be landscaped as well. As we move on into year 26, it's full speed ahead.
That's great, Evan. Thanks. 25 years is a pretty long time.
It sure is. And it's great to know that we have kept in contact with the very first students.
And don't forget the gift of the smartboard from the Barths. That's pretty exceptional.
As a school with technology in its mission, Kline keeps students of all ages on the cutting edge. Caleb has a feature on the way one class is putting technology to work. Over to you, Caleb.
That's right. I'm here in room 4 where students are busy with their day. One of the unique features of this room is that the desks all have recessed monitors which are visible through a glass panel that are built into their desktops. Let's see if we can interrupt and have the students give us a good idea on how a typical day runs. Dante?
A big part of what we do in room 4 is research information on the internet for subjects like writer's workshop, history, and science. Before we get started on that, there are some important questions to answer on how to use the internet properly to research information. Why do we need to learn how to research using the internet properly? Sergey?
We use the internet as a resource tool to learn about information. It also helps us learn how to use the internet correctly.
What are some examples of a search engine and how do we use it? Sophie.
Google and Bing are examples of search engines. You type keywords in the search engine box and press enter.
Why don't we use websites such as ask.com or answers.com? Maddie?
These websites do the work for us by giving us the answer. It is important to do the work ourselves so we learn.
Once we find the information, how do we condense it into a few sentences? Gunnar.
And first read the information and summarize what you read. Take out the most important information and put it in our own words.
Now each of us is going to answer a holiday question using the internet. First is Sergey, who will answer the question, why are Christmas colors red and green?
Why are Christmas colors red and green? This page tells us that In the 1300s, a play called the Paradise Tree Play was performed every December 24th. A apple tree was needed as a prop, but there's no way to get an apple tree in the middle of winter. A pine tree and some apples tied on its branches was used instead. The green stands for the pine tree and the red stands for the apple.
Now, I will answer the question, why do we have Christmas trees? This page tells us that the evergreen tree was an ancient symbol of life in the midst of winter. Romans decorated its branches, and ancient inhabitants of northern Europe cut this tree down and planted them in boxes during the wintertime. By the early Middle Ages, legend had grown that when Christ was born in the midst of winter, that every tree throughout the world shook off its ice and snow and produced new shoots of green had grown. Now, Sophie will answer the question, why do we have Christmas stockings?
The tradition of Christmas stockings began as an honor charitable gift to Saint Nicholas. Saint Nick put gold coins in girls' stockings for presents.
Why does Santa Claus give presents? The original Saint Nicholas lived in Turkey in the 4th century. He was named a saint after he died because he performed miracles as a bishop. He held an annual feast holiday on December 6th. The holiday became associated with Christmas. A tradition developed that he would visit homes on Christmas Eve and children welcomed him with presents. Why are candy canes red and white? This page tells us that the candy cane's shape resembles a shepherd's crook. And the wide red stripes represent Jesus' blood that's shed on the cross. The smaller red stripes represent the wounds he received. The white stripes represent Jesus' sinlessness and purity.
That pretty much wraps it up, Caleb.
Well, as you can see, they've got this research bit down. We'll send it back over now to you in the studio.
Watching that makes you wonder what it must have been like in the old days, without all these tools and options.
It must not have been so interesting without all the different ways we now get information. I'm glad we have it at our disposal. We'll be back with a visit from an old friend right after this.